Do not skip this moment. This message is not random. You are not scrolling by accident. Heaven stopped you here, because this word is for you. Yes, you. I have watched you longer than you know. I have counted every tear you hid in silence. I have heard every question you whispered into the dark. And now I speak. Listen, the delivery that came to your door by mistake was not a mistake. The label was wrong. The address was different, but the destination was always your life. Heaven rerouted it, because your season has changed. You have been waiting, and waiting, and waiting. Join our membership and take your spiritual journey to the next level. As a member, you'll get exclusive access to powerful messages, early releases, and deeper insights into God's Word. Don't miss out. Become a member today and experience God's blessings in a whole new way. You told yourself maybe the miracle was for someone else. You told yourself maybe you were forgotten, but heaven never lost your name. The angels are speaking your name even now. You feel tired because you have been carrying silent battles. You feel confused because the old paths no longer make sense. You feel broken because you gave everything and still lost. But hear me. Your breaking was not your ending. It was your opening. You were not being punished. You were being prepared. Heaven is watching every move you make, every step you take through uncertainty, every night you fall asleep begging for a sign. And now the sign has come. The wrong delivery is for you. It carries what you thought was delayed. It carries what you thought was denied. It carries what you thought was lost forever. You thought the delay meant rejection. You thought the silence meant abandonment. But silence was never absence. It was alignment. Everything that missed you before was only circling back with purpose. Nothing meant for you can miss you forever. The package wandered through wrong hands and wrong routes, just to arrive at the exact moment your heart was ready. You cried because you were empty, but heaven waited until you were open. You asked for a sign that could not be denied. And now it stands at your door, not as coincidence, but as confirmation. What was meant to pass you by has been reclaimed by divine command. What was meant to reach another has been redirected by heavenly authority. The angels moved quietly through unseen pathways, rearranging what humans misrouted, because your name was written on it before time knew your face. You were never late to destiny. Destiny was learning the shape of your faith. You thought the door was closing, but heaven was installing a new entrance. You thought you were losing everything, but you were being lightened for the journey ahead. What you carry next cannot be held by the person you used to be. So I stripped the old weights from your spirit with delay and resistance, not to wound you, but to widen you. You asked why it took so long, yet you never asked what it was protecting you from. Some blessings arrive late, because arriving early would have destroyed you. Some doors stay shut, because storms are still passing on the other side. You were kept in waiting because danger could not recognize you there. Heaven does not rush what must outlive the storm. You mistook preparation for punishment and pruning for rejection. But I do not cut what I plan to bury. I cut what I plan to multiply. Your tears watered ground you did not even know you were standing on. Your loneliness carved space for what could not live in noise. Your confusion broke patterns that would have trapped you forever. Now the ground is ready. Now the door is open. Now the package has arrived. You don't yet understand everything it carries, but your spirit already recognizes its weight. It feels heavy because it holds what you prayed for when you almost stopped believing. It feels unfamiliar because it belongs to the future version of you. Do not be afraid of what looks different from what you imagined. I often answer prayers in shapes you never expected, because your vision is small, but my purpose is vast. What you thought would heal you was only a bandage. What I am delivering now is a transformation. It will not only change your situation, it will change your sight. You will not just survive what is coming. You will carry others through it, because the broken make the best healers, and the wounded become the strongest shelters. You asked for relief, but I prepared you for authority. You asked for comfort, but I prepared you for impact. You asked to escape the fire, but I taught you how not to burn inside it. Now you stand at the threshold of something holy and unfamiliar. Fear whispers that you are not ready. Faith answers that you were shaped for this long before you knew its name. I see the wound you never let anyone touch. I see the memory you buried because it hurt too much to name. I see the smile you wear to survive, and the pain you remove when the door closes. You thought I overlooked it. I never did. Every time your heart cracked in silence, heaven leaned closer. Every time you chose to keep breathing when giving up felt easier, angels stood guard. You were never invisible in your suffering. You were being marked as one who could endure. The enemy whispered that you were weak, but heaven recorded your endurance as strength. You thought your sensitivity was a flaw, but it is how you hear my voice. You thought your tears were wasted, but they became prayer when words failed. You asked me why I was quiet. I was not quiet. I was close. I was holding what was coming. Some answers sound like silence, because they are too heavy for the early you to carry. I waited for your roots to grow deeper than your fear. I waited for your faith to outgrow your need for control. I waited until you could receive without breaking. Now look at your hands. They are empty on purpose. What is coming requires space. What is arriving cannot be mixed with what wounded you. You tried to carry both the past and the promise, but the door only opens for those who travel light. That is why I allowed the losses. That is why the betrayals were not stopped. That is why the goodbyes felt so sharp. Not because I enjoyed your pain, but because I loved your future. You begged me to take the knife away. I used it to cut the chains you could not see. You cried because you thought you were being abandoned. You were being untied. What fell apart was never meant to follow you where you are going. What walked away was never designed to survive your purpose. What you lost cleared the path for what could never live beside it. Now the delivery stands at your threshold. It carries peace that does not fade when circumstances change. It carries strength that does not shatter under pressure. It carries clarity that will silence years of confusion. It carries restoration that time alone could not give you. Do not rush to open it. Let your heart settle first. Some gifts require reverence before they require action. Some blessings come with instruction written only on the soul. Breathe. You are safe here. No storm that chased you can cross this line with you. No voice that condemned you is allowed in this season. No fear that ruled you before will rule you again, because heaven has placed a seal over what is yours. What is being released now is protected. What is being awakened now is guarded. What is being restored now is irreversible. You will not lose this season the way you lost the last one. This time, I go before you. This time, angels stand behind you. This time, the ground itself will support you. You are not entering alone. You are not entering unprepared. You are not entering by accident. This moment was written in the quiet places of eternity, and now it unfolds in the fragile seconds of your life. You feel the trembling because destiny always shakes the dust before it settles. Do not call it anxiety. It is anticipation learning how to breathe inside you. I am breaking cycles you did not start. I am answering prayers you forgot you prayed. I am healing wounds you learned to live with. Do not think this shift is small. It will touch everything. The way you wake, the way you trust, the way you dream again. What once drained you will no longer have access to you. What once confused you will no longer speak with authority. What once delayed you will now propel you forward. The season of almost is ending. The season of arrival has begun. You are stepping out of survival and into assignment, out of waiting and into movement, out of questioning and into knowing. Watch how suddenly things begin to align. Watch how doors open without force. Watch how help finds you without searching. This is not luck. This is orchestration. Heaven is moving pieces you could never reach. Heaven is softening hearts you could never persuade. Heaven is lifting burdens you could never carry alone. I am placing the right people in your path at the right time. They will recognize you by spirit before they know your story. They will see your value before you explain your scars. They will not need you to perform to be chosen, because this time, you will not have to beg for what is aligned with you. You will simply receive it. The fear that followed you will fall behind you. The shame that whispered at you will lose its voice. The regret that haunted you will loosen its grip. Because I am rewriting your inner language. You will no longer speak to yourself with contempt. You will no longer see yourself through old failures. You will no longer define your worth by what went wrong. You will see yourself as heaven sees you. And that vision will change how you walk into rooms. How you say no. How you say yes. How you stand when the ground shakes. The delivery at your door is not only a gift. It is a shift in identity. It is the ending of one story and the quiet beginning of another. You thought you were just surviving the days. You were being repositioned for influence you do not yet comprehend. Small in your eyes, significant in eternity. Do not underestimate how far your obedience will travel. Do not underestimate how many lives will be touched by your healing. Your restoration is not only for you. It is for those who will find hope in your becoming. I am placing a shield around your peace, that I am cutting off conversations that would have delayed you. I am removing distractions that disguise themselves as necessity. You will feel lighter, not because life has no weight, but because you are no longer meant to carry it alone. You will notice a calm where panic once lived. You will notice courage where fear once ruled. You will notice clarity where confusion once swirled. This is the confirmation you asked for without words. This is the answer you nearly stopped expecting. This is the delivery the enemy hoped you would miss. But it found you anyway, because what is sent by heaven cannot be intercepted by doubt. You try to give up many times, yet you are still here. Not by your strength, by my hand. Your breath was sustained when your hope was faint. Your steps were guided when your vision blurred. You did not drift into this moment. You were carried. Now stand, gently, with the humility of one who has seen darkness, with the courage of one who has survived it, because what is next will require both tenderness and strength, and you have learned both. Rest now. You do not have to strive for what has already been released. What is yours is finding you even as you breathe. You do not need to chase what heaven has already assigned. You only need to stay open. Stay soft. Stay listening. The noise around you will grow louder, but my voice will grow clearer inside you. You will learn the sound of peace and choose it without guilt. You will learn the weight of truth and carry it without fear. You will learn the language of rest and stop apologizing for it. This is the rhythm of the new season. Not rushing, not striving, not proving, just walking with me, step by step, moment by moment, breath by breath. There will still be days that challenge you. There will still be nights that question you, but they will no longer define you. They will only refine you. Do not be surprised when old doors knock again. Do not be shaken when familiar voices call your name. Every return will only confirm how far you have come. Every temptation will only prove how deeply you have changed. You are no longer who you were in that season of pain. You are no longer who you were in that season of confusion. You are no longer who you were when you begged only to survive. You are becoming who you prayed to be when no one was listening. Do not rush the unfolding. Flowers do not bloom by force. They open when the light is right, and your light is rising. Even now, even here, even when you doubt it, heaven has not finished with you. Heaven has only just begun. Your story is not closing. It is expanding. Your hope is not fading. It is learning its own wings. Your faith is not weak. It is waking up, and you will feel moments of quiet wonder. Small, holy pauses where your heart suddenly feels light. These are reminders that you are held, that you are guided, that you are deeply known. Do not return to the old language of fear. You are no longer abandoned. You are no longer unseen. You are no longer forgotten. You are chosen in this moment, chosen for healing, chosen for clarity, chosen for a future that will exceed the limits of your past. The delivery at your door was only the beginning. There are more arrivals coming, more confirmations, more quiet miracles disguised as ordinary days, more strength rising in you than you ever imagined. And when you feel unsure again, when the world feels heavy again, when your heart feels small again, come back and listen. I will still be speaking. I always speak to those who are willing to be still. You are not alone tonight. You are not alone in this season. You are not alone in what comes next. The angels are still watching. Heaven is still moving. And your life is still unfolding in sacred timing. Rest in that. Breathe in that. Trust that. And when you are ready, listen to the next message prepared for you. It is already waiting, just like you were. Even after this message ends, I will still be with you. The sound may fade, the words may pause, but my presence will remain. You will feel it in the quiet moments you cannot explain. You will feel it when your chest softens without reason. You will feel it when tears come without pain. These are not accidents. These are reminders. You asked for proof. I gave you peace. You asked for a miracle. I gave you endurance first. You asked for rescue. I gave you transformation. Because rescue changes a moment, but transformation changes a life. Do not measure what is happening by what your eyes can see. Some of the deepest work happens in hidden places. Roots grow in darkness before flowers meet the sun. And you are growing faster than you realize. You feel behind because you compare your path to others. But your timeline is sacred. Your rhythm is intentional. Your pace is protected. What looks slow to you is steady to heaven. What feels delayed to you is perfectly timed above. I have not wasted 1 second of your suffering. Not one tear fell without purpose. Not one night passed without meaning. I counted them all, and I stored strength in every one. Soon you will understand why you could not receive earlier. Soon you will thank me for doors that never opened. Soon you will see that some of your prayers were answered with not yet, because now would have broken you. Trust me when I say this. You did not miss anything meant for you. It is all arriving in sequence. The package at your door is only the first sign. There are movements you cannot see yet. Conversations being stirred. Decisions being shifted. Hearts being softened. Paths being cleared. All on your behalf. Even those who once worked against you will unknowingly work for your good. Their resistance will redirect you into greater alignment. Their delay will protect your timing. Their absence will preserve your peace. You do not need revenge. You do not need vindication. Your life will speak for you. Your healing will answer everything. Your peace will be louder than their doubt. Your joy will be proof enough. You will wake one day and realize the ache has quieted. The weight has lifted. The fear has loosened. And you will not even know the exact moment it happened. Because true miracles do not always arrive with thunder. Sometimes they arrive as rest, as clarity, as the sudden ability to breathe deeply again. You will love again without guarding every corner of your heart. You will trust again without trembling. You will hope again without apologizing. This is not naivete. This is restoration. And when doubts return, because they sometimes will, do not panic. Do not shame yourself. Just come back to stillness. Come back to breath. Come back to me. I am not fragile. Your questions do not offend me. Your weakness does not scare me. Your confusion does not change my commitment to you. I chose you knowing everything about you. The flaws, the fears, the failures, all of it. And I still said, this one is mine. You belong here. You belong in this new season. You belong in this peace you are learning to carry. And you will grow into it gently, not through force, not through pressure, but through grace that teaches you how to stand without trembling. Stay close now, not because danger is near, but because intimacy is. I am inviting you into deeper trust, deeper rest, deeper listening. Your soul is learning a new language, the language of safety, the language of being held without earning. Let yourself learn it slowly. Let yourself be loved without suspicion. Let yourself receive without guilt. You have carried enough weight for one lifetime. Now let me carry you for a while. And when you are ready to listen again, when your heart feels heavy or hopeful or somewhere in between, return to the next message prepared for you. It will find you at the right moment, just as this one did, because heaven is still watching. The angels are still speaking your name, and you are still being prepared for something big. Even now, especially now, there are things unfolding around you that you cannot yet interpret. Small shifts, quiet signals, subtle changes in how the world responds to you. Do not dismiss them. These are the footprints of heaven moving ahead of you. You may not hear thunder. You may not see fire, but you will notice peace where chaos once lived. And that is how you will know I have passed by. You asked how to recognize the moment when everything changes. It will not look dramatic. It will feel gentle, like the slow lifting of a weight you forgot you were carrying, like the warmth that returns to your hands when circulation begins again, like the calm that settles after years of inner noise. That is breakthrough, not always loud, often quiet, but forever irreversible. You have spent so long bracing for impact, so long expecting disappointment, so long preparing your heart to lose. That peace now feels unfamiliar. That safety now feels unreal. That joy now feels fragile. But you do not need to protect it with fear. It is protected by me. What I place in your life now will not be stolen the way the old things were. What I give you now will not collapse under pressure. What I restore now will not return to dust, because it is anchored in eternity, not in circumstances, not in people, not in chance. You no longer need to live in emergency mode. You no longer need to scan every shadow for danger. You no longer need to prove your worth through exhaustion. Rest is no longer a risk for you. It is an invitation, and I am inviting you now, not to quit the world, but to stand in it without fear, not to escape responsibility, but to release the burden of carrying everything alone. You were never meant to be your own savior. You were never meant to be your own shield. You were never meant to be your own source. Let me be that now. You will feel the difference. Your shoulders will soften. Your breath will deepen. Your thoughts will slow. Your sleep will grow sweeter. And you will not understand why at first. You will just know that something inside you has settled. That is my doing. You are not losing your edge. You are losing your fear. You are not becoming weak. You are becoming safe. And safety will allow you to become powerful without becoming harsh, strong without becoming hard, confident without becoming proud. This is the strength I have always desired for you. Not the kind that fights to survive, but the kind that stands because it knows it is held. You will notice that some old struggles no longer pull at you the same way. The triggers that once ruled you will grow quiet. The memories that once pierced you will begin to soften. Not erased, but healed. They will become scars. And scars do not wound. They testify. They will remind you of what you walked through, not what still owns you. You will not forget your past, but you will no longer live inside it. You will carry wisdom without carrying shame. You will carry memory without carrying chains. This is freedom, not the absence of history, but the absence of fear attached to it. You will begin to sense when to move and when to wait without panic. You will begin to trust your discernment without second-guessing every instinct. You will begin to recognize my guidance not as pressure, but as peace that gently leads. You do not need to force your future open. It is already opening toward you. You only need the courage to step forward without looking back in terror. The door behind you is closing quietly, not to trap you, but to keep the past from following you into what is new. You will not relive the same lessons again. You will not repeat the same heartbreak again. You will not circle the same wilderness again. This path moves forward, only forward, and even when you stumble, you will not fall the way you used to. You will fall into my hands instead of into despair. You will rise faster. You will heal quicker. You will hope sooner, because you are no longer walking alone inside your own strength. You are walking inside my promise. A day is coming when you will look back and barely recognize the version of you who doubted this promise. You will remember the nights you cried quietly and smile with gratitude instead of pain. The weight that once bent your spine will become the testimony that straightens it. The sorrow that once emptied you will become the well you draw strength from. You will speak with a new authority, not the loud kind, the quiet kind that comes from having survived the dark with grace. Your presence will comfort without effort. Your words will heal without striving, because peace will have moved into the center of you. And once peace lives at the center, everything else finds its order. You will no longer chase validation. It will meet you on the road of obedience. You will no longer hunger for approval. You will be nourished by purpose. You will no longer beg for love. You will recognize it by how safe it makes you feel. And you will choose differently, not from fear, but from clarity. This is how I protect you now. By changing what you settle for. By lifting your vision above survival. By teaching your heart the sound of truth. There will be doors that open so easily you will pause in disbelief. There will be opportunities that arrive without struggle or negotiation. You will think it is too simple to be real. But simplicity is my signature when the timing is right. What once required striving will now require only your presence. What once felt impossible will now feel natural. Because alignment removes strain. And you are being aligned, even now. You will notice that you are no longer drawn to what once consumed your attention. Old desires will fade without argument. Old habits will lose their hold without a fight. Old attachments will loosen without drama. This is not loss. This is release. And release always makes room for more. More joy. More clarity. More strength. More love that does not wound. More work that does not drain your soul. More relationships that do not ask you to shrink. You will expand without fear of being too much. You will shine without apology. You will rest without the guilt that once haunted you, because you will finally understand this truth. You were never behind. You were being built, quietly, patiently, thoroughly. Nothing rushed is ever stable. Nothing forced is everlasting. And what is coming to you must stand when storms return, because storms still come, but you will not be the same within them. You will not collapse at the first sign of wind. You will not shatter at the sound of thunder. You will bend, and then you will rise, stronger each time, softer where it matters, wiser where it counts. You will become a living answer to prayers people never told you they prayed. Your life will speak to the hopeless in ways sermons never could. Your survival will become someone else's permission to try again. Your peace will remind the weary that healing is real. This is why the enemy tried so hard to stop you. This is why the road was so narrow in those early years. This is why the fire felt so intense. Because the weight of what you carry next requires a forged soul. And you have been forged, not crushed, not broken beyond repair. Forged, refined by heat, strengthened by pressure, softened by mercy. You are not a leftover from your past. You are a continuation of my promise. I place my hand over your future now, not with noise, not with force, but with the quiet weight of certainty. What approaches you will not destroy you. What finds you will not consume you. What grows around you will not overtake you. Because I am walking ahead of you. I am standing beside you. And I am guarding what you cannot see yet. Your next season will not be ruled by lack. Provision will not chase you in panic. It will meet you in calm. You will notice needs being answered before anxiety has time to form. You will notice help arriving before desperation takes its seat. You will notice abundance not in excess, but in sufficiency that feels holy. You will no longer live in the edge of almost not enough. You will live in the quiet assurance of sustained. Your hands will no longer shake when you plan for tomorrow. Your heart will no longer race when you think of the future, because the future will no longer feel like a threat. It will feel like an unfolding promise. I am also placing my breath over your relationships. The ones that enter now will not drain you. The ones that grow now will not confuse you. The ones that remain now will not require you to disappear to be loved. You will be known without performing. You will be valued without proving. You will be chosen without competing. And you will finally understand what safe connection feels like. It will feel steady. It will feel quiet. It will feel like rest instead of chase. Some people will fade from your life without conflict. Do not mourn what releases you with peace. Some connections are only meant to walk you through the fire, not into the garden beyond it. Honor them, then let them go. You are not losing love. You are shedding survival versions of it. Your body is also under my care. Every place where stress hid in your muscles. Every ache that worry taught your bones. Every fatigue that years of endurance carved into you. I see it, and I am restoring from the inside outward. Not all at once, but faithfully, quietly, cell by cell, breath by breath. You will feel strength returning in ways you cannot explain. Your sleep will deepen. Your appetite for life will return. Your energy will rise without panic behind it, because you are no longer running from danger. You are walking in safety. And now I speak over your calling. The reason you remained when others vanished. The reason you felt different before you understood why. The reason your heart carried weight before it carried language. You were shaped to carry light into heavy places. You were shaped to speak hope into tired rooms. You were shaped to recognize pain because you once lived inside it. Do not shrink from this. Your gentleness is not weakness. Your empathy is not an accident. Your endurance is not common. You will touch lives without realizing the depth of it. You will change paths without intending to. You will be the answer to prayers whispered years before you arrive. And you will never need a stage to matter. Your quiet obedience will echo farther than louder footsteps. You do not need to rush into visibility. I will unveil you when the soil is ready to sustain what emerges. Light too early can scorch new growth. Light at the right time causes it to flourish. Trust me with your timing. I have not protected you all this way to abandon you at the threshold. You are not stepping into uncertainty alone. You are stepping into a future already covered by my gaze. The battle that once screamed at you is growing quiet. The storm that once surrounded you is losing its voice. The threat that once ruled your thoughts is no longer in command. You are crossing from noise into stillness, from chaos into order, from fear into knowing. You will still live in the world, but the world will no longer live inside you. Your mind will clear. Your vision will sharpen. Your heart will soften without breaking. This is what renewal feels like. Not dramatic, not overwhelming, but steady, certain, true. You will begin to trust the quiet. You will begin to choose peace without defending the choice. You will begin to believe good things without bracing for loss. And when joy arrives quietly, do not question it. Welcome it. It learned your name before you learned its sound. You have carried sorrow with dignity. Now let joy carry you with ease. You have endured long enough. Now you are allowed to live. You have survived long enough. Now you are allowed to flourish. Do not define yourself by what you escaped. Define yourself by what you are becoming. You are not the wound. You are the healing. You are not the fear. You are the courage that outlived it. You are not the night. You are the dawn that waited patiently for its hour. And that hour is closer than you think. Even now there are unseen movements gathering around your life. Quiet confirmations stacking one upon another. Gentle adjustments aligning paths you cannot yet see. You will recognize them soon. Not by force, but by peace. You will feel a settled knowing where anxiety once lived. You will sense a quiet yes where confusion once ruled. That will be my signal to you. And when you feel it, you will not need to explain it to anyone. You will simply walk, step by step, without the old trembling, without the old hesitation, because you will finally trust what carries you. Now I place my final covering over you in this moment, over your mind, over your heart, over your sleep, over your waking, over what you understand, and over what is still mysterious. Nothing assigned to harm you will pass this covering. Nothing meant to drain you will find permission. Nothing designed to confuse you will settle in your spirit. Peace will guard you in ways you cannot monitor. Strength will rise in you without announcement. Light will surround you without spectacle. You will simply notice that you are no longer as afraid, no longer as heavy, no longer as lost. That is how you will know I am with you. Not in thunder, but in steadiness. Not in spectacle, but in safety. Now carry this moment gently with you. Do not try to analyze it away. Let it remain simple. Let it remain true. Let it remain yours. And when your heart feels ready to hear again, when the questions rise again, when the waiting feels long again, return. There's another message already prepared for you. Waiting in quiet obedience. Waiting in perfect timing. Waiting with your name written on it, just like this one was.